Hello and welcome back to the course. So in the previous class, we had seen how the entire marking of grid takes place. Okay, we have offsets. By using those offsets, we'll mark all these grids. And once all those grids are marked, what we do? We mark all our footings also. And I have shown you how to mark the corner footing and how we mark the mid footings and all in the uh, project. So after all the footings and all are marked and everything is done, the next step would be what? Excavation process. So for the excavation part, I have got a couple of photos and videos here that I would like to share with you. But before that, let me just take you to SketchUp for 1 second. And basically what happens is the JCB just rolls in. Okay, before the JCB comes, what is supposed to do? You're supposed to remove all your markings that you have made. Okay, all your threads, whatever you have used strings, you're supposed to remove all of it. Okay, you have to remove all of it. The JCB will come in, and after that, it will start excavating your whatever markings are there, right, on the side. It'll start excavating all of that. So you just have to go. I think we did minus 6 feet, I believe, in this project. Okay, so 6 feet down, all these footings were excavated. Okay, again, this is just a simple G+2 project. So that footing that whatever we have used has not gone like 10 feet or 15 feet in. That is only possible when we have a very bad quality of soil and we are we are constructing a very huge project. Okay, for a simple G+2, 6 feet is more than sufficient. No problem with that for Bangalore conditions. So after doing the geotech analysis and everything, 6 feet was the decided depth, and that's what we went for. So like this excavation will be carried out, and after the excavation is done, the next step would be to lay down your PCC work. Okay, so 40 PCC is what we have used here. So they lay down the PCC here. Let me just change the color to something darker. Okay, so PCC will be laid down. After the PCC is laid down, what do? We mark our footing. Okay, so that is what we're supposed to do on I think day 3. So we'll carry out a sequence like this so that when you will get a clear understanding of what is happening. So day 1, what happens? We do the clearing of site and grid marking. Okay, that's what we covered in the last 2 classes. After that, the next part is excavation, which we will cover in today's class. That is basically day 2, and then day 3 we do we clear the pit and we put on the PCC work. So today I'll show you both excavation and how to do the PCC work on the site. Okay, I have multiple projects that I would like to show you. So coming back to the project at hand here, basically what happens in excavation part is, if you see here in the photos, you can see there are no threads anymore. Okay, we have removed all of the threads. Okay, but the markings are still there. Okay, on the walls, whatever marking we have made, that is still there, and whatever nail we had dug in here, right? If you can see here, all these markings will remain. This will actually help us to mark the columns in the future. Okay, so marking is very important. All right, because otherwise again you have to spend one more entire day just to get all your markings in proper alignment. Okay, so having this will help you do your work much faster. So this is basically what we did. We called in a JCB and we started digging out the entire space. So if you see here, everything is removed. You cannot see a single thread over here. All right, I have couple more videos also on this same topic related to the site. All right, so excavation 1 you can see here. So the whole project, we start from the corner. Basically we start from this footing over here, then we did the excavation for all of it, and you can see here. Okay, if you want, in the end, what I'll do, I'll create a montage of all these videos so you get a one complete understanding of what the project was executed from start to finish. All right, this was the very first video that I had, and the second video is this. As you can see here, there was an existing plot over here, so we are just digging out the whatever PCC work was done for that given project. Okay, you see there are a lot of debris are coming out upon excavation. All right, and once the footing is excavated, it looks something like this. Okay, as you see, there's so many debris that we had found of an old project over there, and this middle portion that you're seeing, this is for our uh, underground water tank. Okay, this portion is for underground water tank. All right, so all these footings were excavated one by one. So you can see one more time, let me point out the fact that we cannot see any threads anymore, right? In the next clip, I'll show you how they have gone ahead and they were marking the threads again. So as we did in the first class, what they are doing, they are marking all the different grids, and they are seeing the distance between each and every grid. Okay, and once they are sure that this is the appropriate size, they are tying it up and making sure that it doesn't move. Okay, so again we have to remark all this so that we can mark our columns. So grid marking is done 2 times on the site. You have to remember that. Okay, that is if you're doing it manually. If you're using a total station or something, you can just call them in within half a day. They'll remark everything for you. And you can see this is the existing pipe from the road project and everything you can see here. Okay, so like this, we had to remark everything on site because we were doing it manually. Okay, there are a couple of more videos also here. If you want to just see, you can see this pink lines over here, right? These are all for our columns. Green for our grids and pink are for the column marking. Once more, just have a look at all these markings that they have done again. Okay, so different one we took from the top angle. And again, see, one more thing is whatever things you have excavated, right, you should have enough space to dump that material also. We were lucky enough that this landowners agreed for us to dump the material on the site, but generally that is not the case. In those points, what happens, you do half the work first. Okay, you excavate half the plot, dump the material in the side. Okay, once everything is done, that is basically your neck columns and everything is done. After that point, just fill in all the material and then you can excavate here. Okay, this will actually increase the duration of your project by 10 to 15 days. Okay, but sometimes the situation is such that we cannot do anything. Okay, so in those cases we have to increase the time required for doing our PCC work and everything. All right, so you have to keep that in mind also. So you can see different color threads we have used here for marking all the grids and everything. Okay, so this is basically our excavation part, right? We did excavation and then we did what? We remarked all the grids. So I have two more projects that I'd like to show you. This is project second of ours. So you can see here excavation is done in this project, right? After excavation was done, we placed 40 mm aggregates over here. Okay, 40 mm aggregates were placed. After that, we did our PCC work. See again, what happens is we actually do curing for 2 to 3 days. Okay, so day 4, day 5, and day 6 curing of PCC. Okay, PCC. All right, so because we do curing for 2 to 3 days and we have all this red mud all around us, what happens is you generally will not be able to see that if you have even done the PCC work or not. Okay, so without doing the seed, it will look something like this, right? All the aggregates are like this, and on top of this we'll put up PCC. Okay, after putting the PCC we have to flatten it out. All right, only then you will get a proper surface like this. All right, and then we'll do our column marking here. So let me just show the video footage for this. So we have put 40 mm aggregates in each and every pit. Okay, again this is our other project, not the first one that I was discussing. This is project 2. All right, and this is again everything from a higher view. You can see we have placed PCC, sorry, aggregates in all these pits. All right, so I'll take you to one more project. There are 3 projects, right? So in the third project you can see us doing proper PCC work. See, it looks something like this. Okay, so we have placed our 40 mm aggregates. On top of the 40 mm aggregates we put a mixture of cement and our fine aggregate. Okay, because we are using M sand, it mixes with the color of the cement. Okay, and then we do our 2 to 3 days we carry it out our curing time, and after the curing is done we will mark our footings, sorry, columns. Okay, now why am I explaining to you by using different projects? That is because if you go to this project back, right, if I come back over here and let me just take you to us marking the column. Okay, here basically you cannot see as it is like completely red. You cannot see the PCC work that we have done. Okay, so PCC work you have to carry out. You have to place 40 mm aggregates and everything, and you have to pour on top of it a mixture of cement and your M sand. Okay, so pit clearing you will do, and you will start with the PCC work, and then day 4, day 5, and day 6, these 3 days you will do the curing for it. Okay, during the curing what happens, whatever red material is there on top, all your 4 sides of the footing pit is basically made of mud, right? So what happens, they just flow in and just settle in the flat surface. Okay, so once that part is done, the next part on the day 7 what we'll do the marking of our columns. Okay, how the marking of columns is carried out, I'll use this SketchUp and I'll explain to you properly how did we carry out the marking on the columns in the next class. In this class I just want to show you how did we do the excavation. Okay, basically it's very simple, just bought a JCB and start excavating it out, and after excavation I just took you to 2 other projects to show you PCC work that we had done. Okay, again, the main aim is what? For you to understand the sequence of the construction process. Okay, so the work of our this drawing is done. Okay, we will no longer need this drawing anymore. What we have to do is we have to go for the next drawing now. Okay, and so far I have only released 3 drawings to the side. The very first drawing is site plan, the second drawing is footing details, and the third drawing is column marking. Okay, this is another one misconception that people generally have, that we have to release all the 13-14 drawings in one go. That is not how the thing works. Okay, so if you have released on the day one, let me just merge it over here. What I have released, I have released only footing details and column marking. Okay, let me just, okay, footing details and column marking. This is the only drawing that I have released these are the only 2 drawings that I have released. Okay, and these 2 drawings are enough for me to carry out approximately 6 to 7 days worth of work. Okay, on the day 6 or day 7, what you can do, you can go ahead and release the next set of drawings if you want. Okay, so you have some amount of time. So we have released 2 to 3 drawings in the first set. In the second set, we'll release the next set of drawings, that is basically your column details and all of that. Okay, so if you open up this drawing for a second, in this drawing there is nowhere any information about what kind of reinforcement I'm going to use in column, right? Here at least if you come, you will see the kind of rebars I'm going to use in my footing, but what about column? Okay, so I'll have some amount of time for me to generate the next set of drawings. Okay, so these 3 drawings are more than sufficient for you to carry out at least 6 to 7 days worth of your work. In the next class, we'll carry out with the marking of the columns. Okay, see you guys in the next class. Thank you.